And we're back live. What's going on? It's Venomisto. Dance music for the 22nd century. You know what it is, what it do, what it does, what it did. So we're getting into another stream tonight. I'm going to show you guys how to use a shuffle drum beat, get a nice little syncopated polyrhythm going for a drum fill. So check it out. So that's what I'm going to be showing you how to do. Let's jump on into it. So, basically what we've been doing the last few weeks is a lot of actual shuffles, halftime shuffles and whatnot. But I thought what would be cool this time is to show a little polyrhythm, and I'm going to show two ways to do it. One, it's a 4-bar pattern, and the last bar, it uses a shuffle polyrhythm as a fill. And the second way I want to show you how to do it is to use a 4-bar pattern, but to use the entire second half as a fill. So let's jump in. Basically, we're going to start with a standard backbeat. You can see here, I've got the tempo set to 120 at 4/4. Same thing here. Mapping, following host, loop. I've gone into the Superior Drummer 3 grid editor, and I've added a 4-bar pattern and set it to loop. So let's dig right in here. I'm going to go ahead and select the pencil tool. I'm going to open up our articulation lanes and drop a kick open hit on the 1. Then a snare on the 2. Then a kick open on the 3 and a snare on the 4. So again, program this out. I'm adding a kick open on the 1, a snare center on the 2, a kick open on the 3 and a snare on the 4. So if I wanted to copy this over, go ahead and select all. I'll hold down Option on Mac, Alt on Windows. Pretty standard. All right, cool. So just a standard backbeat. Now, because we're not focusing really too much on what we're doing here in terms of the hi-hat patterns, I'm just going to go ahead and throw some eighth notes on the hi-hat. Hopefully all my viewers know how to do that. If not, I can show you, follow along on another tutorial. So here I want to do some velocity automation, so I'm going to go ahead and select the close edge, and then every other one I'm going to drag down. This will give it a nice If we didn't do that, this is what it will sound like. A little bit mechanical. So now that we have this nice pattern, again, I'll go ahead and select all, being careful to go all the way up to the 2. Hold down Option on Mac, Alt on Windows, and drag it out. So let's go ahead and take a listen to this 4-bar loop we just programmed. Nice. So now let's dig in. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and remove the notes from the ending here. And now I want to zoom in. So I've got a magic mouse, so I go right and left on it. I guess you can't use arrows. You can drag this down here to move back. And oh, check that. You can. Here we go. Right here. I've never used that, I don't think. You can drag it. You can also go like this. Also on the magic mouse, or if you have a scroll wheel, you can hold Option and scroll in, and then sideways scroll out by holding Option on Mac, Alt on PC. So I'm going to come in here, zoom in a little bit, get nice and centered. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it on 16th notes, not triplets. Note, in the patterns we've been using before, we've been using dotted eighth notes. We've been using triplet eighth notes, which is 3 eighth notes per quarter note. In this case, because we're using a polyrhythm, I'm going to program in a shuffle, but I'm going to use 16th notes still, straight 16th notes. So there's going to be 4 16th notes per quarter note, but it's not going to sound like that because of how I program it. So I'm going to go ahead and select the pencil tool. I'm going to add an open kick on the 1, then 1, skip 2, and then 3. So let's pause for a second here and take a look at what we just programmed in, because this is really the pattern here. So if these were dotted eighth notes, it would be our standard shuffle like we've been doing the past couple months or so. Bum, 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 bum. But what I'm actually doing is using 16th notes. So I go kick, space, kick, snare, space, kick. Kick, space, kick, snare, space, kick. Kick, space, snare, snare. Because I ran out of room. So let's go ahead and listen to this. Hopefully we followed along. So the idea is that we're programming in what would be a shuffle, again, if we were doing dotted eighth notes, bump, bum, 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 bum. Because I'm using 16th notes, it's giving it a polyrhythm. So it's like da 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 da. And what I'll probably do here is on the hi-hat, let's go ahead and do an open, closed, open, closed, open, closed, open, closed, really open, and let that linger. And then I'll go ahead and select these. And let's go ahead and get some nice, cool automation on the velocity going. So let's take a listen to this. See, this is the shuffle that we've been doing. But again, instead of this kick being on the 1, this snare being on the 2 right here, and then this kick being on the 3, and this snare being on the 4, we're doing 16th notes. So it's all happening 3 over 4. So in the space of 4, in this pattern, we usually only got to do 3 in the previous pattern. So instead of dun 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 dun, it's dun 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 dun. To make it, it's basically 3 plus 3 plus 2. Or another way to think of it is 6 plus 6 plus 4. So, 3 plus 3 plus 2 equals 8. So that's kind of your standard dun 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 dun, as a band like Coldplay popularized, right? That's in 4/4. They're doing a group of 3, a group of 3, and a group of 2. Bun dun dun bun dun dun bun dun bun dun dun bun dun dun blah blah blah. You could do the same thing with 6, 6, 4, because 6 plus 4 equals 16, which is exactly what we're doing here. That's how we're getting to 16 16th notes. Bum ba bum ba bum ba bum ba bum ba bum ba da dum. Bum ba bum ba bum ba bum ba bum ba da bum. So again, let's take a listen. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and 1 E. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 3 E and a 4 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. There we go. So now what I want to show you folks how to do is how to do this over a 2-bar section. So instead of doing 6 plus 6 plus 4, we're going to do 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 4 plus 4, which if you follow one along, that's 4 groups of 6, which is 24, and it's 2 groups of 4, which is 8. So 24 plus 8 equals 32. And how many 16th notes are in 2 bars? 32. So it's going to sound similar, but it's going to sound longer. So let's go ahead here and remove the notes. And then I'm going to use the magic mouse to scroll horizontally, scroll in a little bit vertically with that alt trick. So again, I'm still on 16th notes. Now let's go open, space, open, snare, space, open, open. Let's go ahead and get these hits harder. The velocity that we'll program in when you're using the pencil tool is the last velocity of the note that you programmed. So because we were messing with the velocity of some of those non-standard hi-hat articulations, that's what we ended up with. So again, I'm going to go kick, space, snare, space, kick, kick, space, Oh, so, ooh, that's wrong. So kick, space, kick, snare, space, kick. Kick, space, kick, snare, space, kick. Kick, space, snare. Damn it. Kick, space, kick, snare, space, kick. Kick, space, kick, snare, space, kick. Kick, space, kick. And then let's go snare, 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 snare. This is the last. Actually, let's do it on these last two. Dun, dun, dun. So we're going to go, these are the groupings of what would again be triplet eighth notes for a quarter note, but instead we're putting 4 16th notes per quarter note, but still using the groups of 3, which gives us our polyrhythm. 3 over 4. So we're going 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, and then a group of 4 and a group of 4. So that's how we're getting the 6. I can count it that way that I mentioned before. We're going to go, one second. Let's see. Let's select our pointer tool. Let's come in, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's one group of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 2 groups of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 3 groups of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 4 groups of 6. So again, we're up to 24. Now I'm going to do a group of 4 and a group of 4, which is 8. So 24 plus 8 is exactly what we want to get. It's 32 because there's 32 16th notes in 2 bars. So now let's do the last kind of flow here. We're going to go open, space, closed, open, space, closed, open, space, closed, open. And you can see they're lining up with the kick, snare, kick, 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 snare, kick, kick. That nice shuffle pattern that we've been obsessed with lately. Closed, open, closed, open, closed, open. This is a door. Closed, open. It won't stay shut. Now here, let's hit a nice open and an even more open. What's open edge 4? This will be dope. Nice. Now one final thing. Let's go ahead and select these. And I'm going to go ahead and lower the velocity on the closed, just like we did when we were only adding a fill to the final bar to give it that nice kind of accented feel. So again, I'll hold Option on Mac, Alt on Windows to zoom out. Now let's listen to our pattern. So it's going to kind of be short over here. Typically, this would be a little bit longer. Let's throw on the metronome so we can hear how the syncopation happens. Sorry, how the polyrhythm happens. Nice. One other way that I like to do this is let's take this out. That sounds pretty good, and you might lose it a little bit. One way we can go. So here I could go like this. Right here, remove this. Check this. Basically what I did is you'll hear this is really just going to be a group of 3, a group of 3, a group of 2. And then again, a group of 3, a group of 3, a group of 2. This might be a little bit easier to follow. And on this last 2 beats, I'm going to put them both on the snare. So check this out. Throw on a nice open hit here. So there you go. In this video, we took a look at how to use a shuffle drum fill instead of with triplet eighth notes, using 16th notes to add a nice polyrhythm at the end of a section. And you know, one thing that I've done in bands is you can do this when the guitarist or the rhythm doesn't change at all. Sometimes you can also mix it up and have the guitar go along with it. So something like and there's a lot of variations that we can play off this. If people are digging this, you know, maybe we can build on it next week. There's a lot of things you can do with the choking the hi-hat, doing some ghost notes on the snare, like kind of a favorite of Maiden, Clive Burr, but then definitely Nico McBrain used to do that a lot. So that's definitely a great type of kind of syncopated feel that brings that polyrhythm in with some syncopation to really get some good, unique movement going between the kick and the hi-hats being choked and some ghost notes on the snare. So hey, if you enjoyed this stream, make sure you smash that like button. Go ahead and leave a comment if there's something that you'd like to see. And if you've been enjoying these drum programming tutorials, be sure to subscribe to my channel where I post a new one up every week. And be sure to hit that little bell icon, as they say, so that you can get notified when I put up a new drum video. So hey, I'm a producer. My name is Venomisto. If you'd like to check out more, you can go to venomisto.com. In addition to these types of drum programming tutorials, I do some tutorials on vocal extraction and source separation, spectral editing, that type of thing, and some stage lighting automation. So some folks have been asking about that, and I definitely want to get back into that this year too. So hopefully everybody's feeling it. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Until next time, hasta luego, hasta luego, a biento, das vidania, sayonara. Peace.